All right. Welcome to the first ever Graf-X Tech live stream. We're going to make this as painless of a process as possible because I've never done this before, so we're just going to see how it goes. I got some notes of stuff to go over here, and we're going to take things a little slow at the beginning, let some people join in if they're not already here, and just kind of ease into this live stream and see how it goes. So stick along if you're able. So I just kind of want to first mention all the topics we're going to cover in this live stream. So I want to go over just all of 2024. This is the first year I've had my channel, so it's a pretty big year for me. And I just want to go over all that with you guys, talk about some things I've learned, some things that I'm never going to do again, some things that I really liked, and all that kind of stuff. Then I'm going to also go over the Supernote Manta because I do think this device, which I'm using as my notes right here as well, is something else. And I just need you guys to know how much I like this thing. So then I'm going to go over all the iPads stuff, the M4 iPad Pro, which is running this live stream right now, and my iPad mini, and a little bit about some other e-ink tablets here as well. Then I want to cover CES 2025, and that is going to be, it's going to be crazy. I've never done anything like going to CES before, so it's going to be a really interesting experience, and I hope you guys enjoy all the content we make from that. Then lastly, I just have a couple products in the pipeline that I want to share with you guys, and then I think they're going to be something that you're going to really enjoy, and I want your thoughts on them. If you think they're awful or anything like that, anything would be helpful. I really want to know what you think of them. I was just notified that I have a pretty shaky camera right now. Let's see if I can do anything about that here quick. Sorry, one technical error here. All right. I may not be able to change any of the stabilization on it, but that's okay. We're going to keep going. Sorry about the shakiness. I'll try to limit my motions so maybe it doesn't shake the camera so much. All right. Oh, and as far as chat questions and everything like that, I want you guys to ask as many questions or just say hey and introduce yourself, whatever you want to do in the chat. Go for it. What I'm basically going to do is every time I end a topic, I'll be checking the chat and just seeing what you guys have mentioned and any questions you've asked, and then spend some time answering that before I move on to the next topic. So, 2024 recap. Again, this is the year that my channel got started, and that's pretty big. That's so weird to think that last year, this time, I didn't have the channel. I started it at March 31st. I mean, that's pretty nuts. And so much has happened this last year that I just can't even imagine life without this channel now at this point. And it has grown crazily, already at almost 3,500 subscribers in the first year, first like 9 months. That's nuts. And that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for the attention and growth that you've given this channel. It's been amazing. And it actually has become my career at this point. I do this as full-time as I possibly can. I do also do some other side tasks and work and take on some clients for some other things as well. But Mostly this is my job, and I want to keep growing and keep becoming more and more of my career. And that's crazy. It's so weird to think that now I'm a creator, I'm a YouTuber, and that's like my job. And a year ago, I wouldn't even thought that that would ever be my job. Crazy stuff. And then I'm just going to kind of go over some of the products that came out this year that I reviewed on the channel that stood out a lot. So one of the big ones that really started the growth of the channel is the iPad Pro. The M4 iPad Pro right here, that's running everything. You can't see it a lot in the shot, but it's right here. It's doing its job. I don't want to take it off its stand right now as I don't want to mess anything up. But yeah, this thing has been incredible. I had both sizes at one point, which you guys would have seen on the channel as well. And this was an iPad I was looking forward to for a long time. Still think the iPad has some room to grow. I still think some software things are too limiting on it. But right now, I'm able to take on anything. Like, I'm able to do a live stream on this. I've done web design on this. And we'll go into more on the iPads later, but crazy. This product jump-started the channel. Absolutely. But the actual first product I reviewed was the Supernote Nomad. Not this one in particular, because my original broke. And if you're wondering how or why, I honestly don't really know. But I talk about it in a YouTube short. So that was really interesting. Starting it with that device, it still gained a good amount of traction just with that. And I wasn't expecting it to. That was a really, really interesting thing to learn. Then you get more Supernote devices like this one that came out just right at the end of the year. But you also had the Penstar tablet that I reviewed this year. And this is a really interesting device that just came out of nowhere. Not everyone was a huge fan of it, but I think it works really well and it has good build quality, honestly. Remarkable 2 did not come out this year. I did review it, comparing it to the Supernote on my channel. And then the Remarkable Paper Pro came out this year. And then I rolled it over with a car. And again, I made a YouTube short on that, so check that out if you did not know that. But yeah, I don't exactly have that here to compare anymore. But that was a really interesting tablet. It still pales in comparison, in my opinion, to the software and writing experience of the Supernote Manta. It's just, as good as it was, it's just not this device. And I like this device way more, personally. And then, of course, we had my lovely iPad mini, which still have a love-hate relationship with this device. But again, we'll go into iPads more later on in this video. So yeah, it's been a busy year overall. I did do an Apple Watch Series 10 review as well, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone review really did not pick up much, and that's okay. And I also understand kind of why. There's a lot of people who do iPhone reviews, and then there's also I don't think I had something that was very unique in my video. So that's just, that is what it is. I don't think I really offered something that was tangibly different than other people. But hey, I learned things from that. I use it as my camera all the time. It's actually a top-down camera right now, which I don't have shown. But yeah, it's really, really interesting seeing all these things play out. And then there were some products that did not stand out from this year that I still reviewed on this channel, but yeah, it was the Ramvu Ice. It was like this wearable air conditioner thing. I took it and I accepted them sending it to me, and I reviewed it because I was really excited that a company was sending me a product. It was the first one that ever happened. I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Going back, I probably would have said no. It was just a little weird. It didn't really fit my channel super well. It was fine. The video didn't do well. And the product was good, but even I don't use it anymore. I mean, I gave it away and it didn't blow me away or anything like that. And then some of the batteries I review in the channel also got sent to me. And again, it was a case of I was being sent a product and I thought it was super cool, and it just didn't take off that much. Although the all power battery with the solar panels, that I still use, and those are pretty awesome. So if you didn't see that video, I would go watch it. And then the Ivanki dock didn't do super well either, but I think the video was overall pretty well done. And if you have a MacBook, especially a MacBook Air, I would check out that review. I think it's a great dock for you. So yeah, I definitely learned some pretty big lessons. And one of those is just do a little bit better at picking sponsors and people that I work with, because I don't want to ever look back at a video and think, oh man, I kind of wish I didn't review that. I don't want that feeling ever again this year. So that's going to be something that I'm just being a little pickier on. What companies I say yes to and I say no to. And then just getting a little bit more careful on repeating myself during videos. I've got that comment before a couple times on my videos, just like, hey, you seem to repeat yourself a lot. So I try to go through my editing process and listen for repetition and cut it out. So I'm probably doing it right now because I'm live, so I can't cut it out. But in my edited videos, I do my best now to try to reduce any repetition. And if you got critiques like that comment was super helpful. If you got any critiques like that, you let me know, and I'll make an effort to not do it again. And then I also just want to get better at producing more content and getting even more videos out consistently. I've been doing a YouTube short every day for the last couple weeks now. I think I missed one day, but besides that, I've been doing like one every day. So just let me know what you guys think of that. Is it just kind of annoying? Do the YouTube shorts seem to offer something to you? I just kind of like them because they show that my channel is still alive and I'm still doing things, even if a video is taking me a long time to edit or something. So I enjoy them, and I think they're easy to make. But if they're not offering a lot to you guys, just let me know and I can just stop doing them that often. But I definitely just want to get better overall at making content, making it still good content, and not over rushing them just to put something out, but also to still be fast enough where I'm not going weeks without videos or only posting really short, kind of poorly made videos, anything like that. But yeah, I think those were really good lessons for me to learn. And I just also want to redeem my time better. I feel like it's very easy to get distracted while even editing videos or things like that. And I just want to be more on top of things. So if you guys can be along that journey with me, hold me accountable a little bit. Like if I missed a day that I was supposed to do a short, call me out on it. Say, hey, where were you today? Just anything like that. It's totally fine. I'm not going to be offended. I enjoy the encouragement. It's great. So yeah, the last thing I want to mention is just something I want to improve on too, is getting a few more revenue streams besides just AdSense and some Amazon affiliates. I do have an affiliate program with Supernote, and that does give me a little something here and there, but I definitely want to do my own products like I mentioned before and things like that, as I think having a few more streams of revenue will really help, as AdSense is not always the most reliable source of income. And then I also am going to look into memberships. My poll for that didn't necessarily go super well, but if you guys have any thoughts about memberships, please let me know in the chat right now. Would you sign up to be a member if I offered them? All that kind of stuff would be really helpful. So at this point, I'm done with that. At this point, I'm done with that topic. And I'm going to go into the Supernote Manta. But first, I'm just going to check the chat. Or if you guys have any other questions about my first year of doing this channel, or you're like, hey, how did you figure this out? Or hey, what'd you do here? Let me know right now as I'm reading a couple of these chats. So didn't get a lot here, but JC said that he likes the the iPad mini. It's his favorite. So don't worry, you'll have to be using that when we're at CES. So he'll be my cameraman while we're there. So you might see him a little bit in one of the videos or something. But yeah, and I'm going to force him to edit all the videos off this tiny iPad. He'll love it. It'll be great. Fun fact that Remarkable Paper Pro is not Remarkable Tire Stop. Not a Remarkable Tire Stop. Yeah, that's true. Well, it did kind of stop it, but not enough, I guess. Yeah, it was a little bumpier when I rolled onto it. So, you know, it did something. Yeah, $500 down the drain. Still mad about that. Yeah, memberships definitely depend on what is offered. Getting some great comments from Graf-X Motion here. If you haven't checked out his channel, that is a fantastic place to get stop motion. All that kind of stuff will be great there. If you're at all fan of stop motion animation, check out Graf-X Motion. They got great stuff. They have more projects coming. I think he's going to start doing some more vlog style stuff too. So yeah, check him out. We work together on stuff. He's awesome. Go watch his stuff. Telga asked if we're planning to do a live at CES. I think so. I think I want to do a live at CES too, because I think that would be a lot of fun. So I don't know the details of what that's going to look like yet, but I definitely want to do it. Yeah, I think yes. Yeah. JC and myself and Joel, someone else is coming. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to do a live while we're there. It'll be great. Hey, Graf-X, what can we expect to see from you while you're at CES? Anything specific you're excited for? That's a great question. I don't really know. So there's going to be a lot happening there, and we're just going to have to see what kind of content we get. I know I'm visiting the Penstar booth because they're the ones that helped us be able to get there. But that's the only thing I kind of have guaranteed. We have some conferences we signed up for. We have some booths that we favorited in our calendar and stuff like that. So I think we're going to see some awesome stuff. But what will these companies bring exactly? I don't know. I know Penstar is going to have their new tablet. That's what they told me. And it's going to have 300 ppi, so a very high resolution screen. That will be really cool to see, and some new tech there. So I'm very curious to know if they're keeping the pen-only input with their new tablet. But we'll have to find all that out when we're there. So yeah, I think I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just see everything going on there. But as far as specifics, I'm not 100% sure. All right, we'll take one more comment here before we move on a little bit. Maybe do a live that recaps the favorite things you saw each day. They don't have to be long, but it would be fun to hear all your reactions for each day. Absolutely. Even if we do we get back to the hotel and do a quick live stream of what just happened that day. Yeah, totally. That's not a bad idea at all. And yeah, I'd be really, really interested to see how that all works. I mean, my iPad is my live streaming device, so bringing it along somewhere like that, it's not going to be a problem at all. Yeah, I think we can totally do that. Regarding all your reviews, if you need to pick up one device between Manta, iPad mini, iPad Air, or Remarkable One, which one is the better writing feel? Definitely Supernote Manta. I'm sorry. I know even Graf-X Motion, he's a Remarkable fan, but I mean, it's just the Manta all the way. Even iPad mini is fun. It's fun with I have like a textured screen on it too. And that does make it better for writing feel. But I honestly just don't think that it's incredibly different than just the screen. So yeah, it's gonna be the Supernote Manta. And then if I had to pick a second runner-up, Remarkable would definitely be it. I think the Paper Pro has my favorite Remarkable writing feel, but the Remarkable 2 feels great as well. So any e-ink device, I think, is probably going to be better than an iPad at writing feel in particular. iPads are great for other things. I love my iPads, especially my iPad Pro here. But yeah, if you're going out for a writing feel on just a note-taking device, Manta. This pen to screen, it's amazing. You can't exactly describe it until you just try it, and it's just phenomenal. All right, moving on to the Supernote Manta, actually. Great segue. Thank you. It's the best e-ink device I have. And that's something that I want to show a little bit. I'm going to actually switch to a top-down view here. Hopefully my camera will be a little less shaky with that. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try to get that fixed for next time. All right. So let's get Nomad out of the way. It's trying to steal the spotlight here. So obviously these are all my notes right here, but what I really, really like about this device is how light and thin it is. It's actually just as thin as the iPad mini in the middle, but it actually goes even thinner at the edges. So it's a really thin device. And I think the weight with it being a plastic build is great. And this flexible screen really makes the screen kind of bend in as you're writing on it. And it's a phenomenal feeling. I do actually think I like it more than the Nomad. I had some people asking if that was going to be a possibility. I like it more than this. And yeah, I do. I definitely like it more than the Remarkable, but comparisons between both of these devices and this are coming soon. I'm also going to be comparing it to the Penstar. So if you're curious about what e-ink tablet to go for, we're going to discuss that. We're going to figure that out. But yeah, I'm saying that my impressions of this device after like a couple weeks is fantastic. I can't get enough of it. Use it every single day. The battery life is amazing. I've charged it once last week, maybe last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't even know, but it's still at 40%. And I also have it syncing constantly, basically. So that should be draining the battery more, but it's doing great. So yeah, I don't really have any complaints there. And I'm going to switch back to my other angle here. So yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic using this device. Great software, great pen, great writing, and I think really good build quality. It is plastic, and that might bother some people, but I think the plastic feels amazing, so it doesn't bother me at all. All right, any other questions about the Supernote A5X2 Manta? Anyone down there? Otherwise, we're going to move on to the iPads. All right, we're just going to say nah and move on. If you have any questions about any previous topic, though, feel free to just always put it into the chat, and I can backtrack. It's not a big deal. What are the dimensions? This is like a 10.7-inch screen, so it's very, very close in size to the 11-inch iPad Pro or like the 11-inch iPad Air if you have that. So yeah, very, very close in dimension to that. This is more like iPad mini size, this one. So yeah, I think if you like iPad size stuff, this fits into that workflow really, really well. And it feels a lot better when writing with it. But yeah, let's move on to iPads then while we're talking about them. And I'm not going to go into a whole lot more than what I've already mentioned. But yeah, the M4 iPad Pro has been my workhorse. I've literally done all my videos since getting it on this device. I sold my Mac Studio to keep working on it, which I still think is weird to say out loud because I don't even know if that was a good idea. But I did, and on the 11-inch model as well. Sometimes I edit without even an external monitor. And yeah, I know I'm crazy for using 11-inch to do all that, but I do it all the time, and it's great. I do all my videos. I make every thumbnail on it. I even did some web design using just this 11-inch iPad Pro, made a website for a client, and he liked it. It was pretty simplistic, but still, I was able to do it, and that's incredible. I'm also doing some 3D modeling on this iPad as well, and that's where some of the products are going to come from. I don't have them far enough along where I'm going to show anything to you guys today, but I will just kind of describe where I'm going with them and get some of your thoughts on them. And sorry, JC, if you're still on, the iPad mini has been neglected lately. I'm going to be honest. He's been a little lonely. I haven't used it in like a couple weeks or 3 weeks almost, which is unfortunate because that's so my relationship with this iPad mini. I love it when I'm using it, and then I neglect it, and then I think about getting rid of it. And I'm thinking about it again, but I'm probably not going to because it's still useful as far as it is helpful as a beta testing device for my iPad Pro here. And I also do sometimes show apps and iPad apps and stuff on that. But I can already see the comment that JC just said of, I better not sell it. So, all right, I won't sell it. You're good. And especially not before you get to use it. You know, don't worry. It's all yours for CES. I don't even want to touch it. But yeah. So iPad mini feeling a little left out again, but that's okay. It's a testing device. That's where we're at with it. But if any of you guys have any questions on like a certain program or a certain function that you're wondering if an iPad can handle, definitely let me know because I've probably experimented with 90% of things out there to see if it can actually do, including like coding on the iPad. I've done a little bit of that, 3D modeling, some levels of animation, and yeah, it's been my workhorse of a device, and it's going strong, still at like great battery capacity, all that kind of stuff. It's doing great. So yeah, no complaints with my M4 iPad Pro. However, I have been seeing some leaks and rumors about a folding iPad. And I'm just saying, if they make a folding iPad, I'm selling anything I own to be able to get a folding iPad. I don't care if it's good. I just want my iPad to fold in half. I think that's just what I want. I don't know why, but I do. I want to be able to bend my iPad in half, and that just seems great to me. So, I heard some rumors say it might even get like macOS or something like that. I don't know. I feel like that's unlikely, but we're gonna see what they do. And yeah, it's been rumored for a long time, but some of the leaks are now becoming more consistent with it saying, I think maybe like a 2026 release or something like that. But yeah, so I'm interested. My curiosity is piqued. I also hear, according to a lot of the leaks, that the M5 iPad Pro will come out next year in the fall, or this year in the fall. And will I upgrade to that? No clue. If it's a chip swap, probably not, because I think this has plenty of power for me right now. But if they do something crazy with the design difference, that would potentially sell me on it. Although it's also me, because of course I'm probably gonna buy it. It's an iPad and it's me, so who am I kidding? If it's a chip swap, I'll probably still get it. Anyway, moving on to some questions or chats here. Rachel asked, which Rachel is my wife. I think she's trying to be a little inconspicuous here and like not act like she's my wife, and that's great. I told her kind of not to, but that's fine. She's my wife. You can know that. She's asking, do you feel like it really makes that big of a difference focus-wise for you when you use an e-ink device versus an iPad? And yeah, I do. I do think it does. The Remarkable talks about being distraction-free. That's like their whole thing, which basically means it can't do anything. And that's good for some things, but I like Supernote because they can do things, but they're also distraction-free. So what I mean by that is you can even sideload Android apps on here if you need them for something for a particular purpose, but it's quite the process. So you have to really want that app on here in order to do it. And it's still an e-ink screen. So watching like YouTube or scrolling social media is going to be painful to do. So you don't really ever want to do that on this screen technology. So it's still distraction free in my opinion. But it allows for things like the Kindle app on here, which here, let me switch back to my top down. So on the Kindle app, I have right here. So that's nice. It's built right in where you can just have it. It has like a drawing app, and you can add your calendar in to do some calendar functions if it actually goes here. So all that kind of stuff is really nice. And to me, that's not less distracting or more distracting. It's actually just more functions. So yeah, I think that distraction free is a very relative term, and I think Remarkable takes it way too far. But I think Supernote has a great balance of not having too much that it can do where it is back to just being like an iPad. But it also has just enough where it's really, really useful. And like Rants About Tech, I heard him say this, and I completely agree, is that his Supernote is irreplaceable. It does things that no other device of his can actually do. And I completely agree. It is not replaceable, in my opinion. Where my iPad mini is replaceable. Even my iPad Pro, to some degree, is replaceable by like a MacBook or something. Where this, irreplaceable. I don't know of any other device that can do exactly what it does. But, yeah. All right, let's take more of a look here. Yeah, JC is still sad about the iPad mini. I get it. Yeah, you know. Cough, cough, Samsung. I'm assuming you're referring to folding tech. Yes. Fold. They were first to fold. But we'll see, I guess, if Apple can do it better or not. Or they just do the same thing. You know, they kind of mimic each other all the time. But Graf-X Motion says, like, you bent your Remarkable in half. Yes, that gave me the desire to start bending tablets in half now that I flattened that one in half. And it wasn't fully in half, all right? For the record, it was just slightly curled, you know, and so it's okay. The screen is shattered, but yeah, it's okay. E-Ink Unplugged, nice to see you there. He says 100% agree. Yep, absolutely. This is just irreplaceable to me and better than Remarkable. Or, yeah, I think it's just better. Sorry. I am going to be terrible at pronouncing this name, but I'm just going to call you L. Like, if you want to spell out how to pronounce your username, I will start pronouncing that way, but I'm just not even going to try. All right. Hearing that you just said, do you think that the Manta would be better for note-taking at college? I'm meant to move on as paperless. Yes, I do think Manta would be pretty good for college work. I use it for taking notes and preparing lessons for like Bible studies and stuff like that, and taking notes on different groups like that. So it's not exactly the same as college, but it is a very similar function that I use it for. And I've seen people put textbooks on this, and because of the 300 ppi screen, it does a pretty good job of replicating all PDFs pretty well. Now, if you're scanning it and then putting it in, it kind of has a hit or miss of how good it will look. So it's hard to know for sure that it's going to be perfect for your scenario, but I do think it will be nice. If anything, I'm going to go back to this angle here. So yeah, that's kind of the basics here of why I like Supernote, what I think about all these things coming up. Let me go back to my notes here, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yes, CES 2025. We've talked about this a little bit now, but I just kind of want to mention a bit more of that. It's 3 days away, which is nuts. JC, you ready? I mean, it's 3 days away. It's so weird to say. We're going to be flying to Vegas in 3 days. If any of you guys are going to be there that are in the comments, just let me know. Oh, JC's not ready. Okay, well, man. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm a little scared too. It's fine. We're good. Uh, but anyway, so AI is all over the emails from CES. I kind of made a YouTube short on this already, so if you saw that, I apologize for repeating myself here, but I just had to rant about it again. It is everywhere on the emails. Like, they talked about AI planters. What are you using artificial intelligence for exactly? Like, is it generative AI in my plants? Like, what is happening? Everything, every email about every company's booth mentions AI somewhere. I pretty much can't find one that doesn't. And that's just because it's the buzzword right now. It's what every company thinks sells. So all of them are marketing that way. In reality, a lot of the AI features aren't really much different than like what Apple would call machine learning back in the day, or things like that. Now every company just calls any little bit of machine learning artificial intelligence, which is technically true, but that's because they call the generative AI also just AI all the time. So you never really know, is it just regular machine learning, or is it these big full generative AI models? And it's vague and confusing, and I just think people should stop using that term so much. It's just becoming a little overused. And it's to the point where I think it's hard to know what people really mean by AI, and it's not very specific. So that's my little rant about that here. And then I just kind of want to talk about what next week is going to look like. Hopefully we'll do some of those recap live streams like we were just talking about now, especially if you guys are interested in that. I'm definitely good with doing those. We're going to be filming as much as we possibly can. That's why I got 2 other people coming with me, so we can just capture a bunch of footage. And I'm going to be doing probably some like interview style videos with some of the exhibitors down there as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get out some of those videos while we're still there. We're going to be spending every night trying to work on videos while we're at the hotels and stuff, but I just don't know how reliable the Wi-Fi will be and things like that. So we're going to have to play all that by ear of how much content's actually coming out that week. But if it's not that week, we're going to have a bunch more of it coming out the week after. So if next week seems a little slow, that's because we're just having some troubles uploading videos. But then the week after, we're going to share all about CES with you guys for sure. All right. Anything else about CES 2025 that you guys were interested in or wondering about? And if not, totally fine. But yeah, feel free to comment that while I'm going over these next couple things here as well. So I got some products down the line. And I think they're going to be pretty interesting. So I'm working on modeling a new pen loop for the Supernote Manta here. As if you can kind of see, this one is pretty floppy, as it's like this fabric material. But the Nomad here, it's a much thicker, like vegan leather material they use as the loop. And I get why they did the stretchier stuff. It's easier to put different sizes of pens in, but at the same time, it's less sturdy, and some of the bigger pens like this Lamy pen here don't fit as well into it. So I'm actually going to make like a rubberized plastic version of this pen loop, giving it some more room, better suited for like a Lamy pen or something like that. And we're going to see how that goes. Hopefully the printing process will be good. We have some 3D printers, so that's not a problem. And if I get a successful version, I'll start putting it on my store, and you guys will be able to get access to that as well. Then something else I was working on, which actually came about when I was watching one of Ed's videos. I don't know if you know who he is. He's Organizing for Change. Check him out. He's got some good stuff too. But basically, let me switch to my other angle. It'll be easier to see. Basically, these slots are very open when you take off the cover for the Manta. So he was kind of thinking it'd be nice if they included, or someone made, third party, a cover that just slots into these grooves. Just a very thin piece of like plastic or something, just so they're not exposed and get a bunch of dirt and dust in those slots. It probably won't affect anything, even if they did get it, but he just thought it would be a little nicer to have some extra security there. So I'm going to also work on that design, likely be printing it out of that same rubberized plastic, so it's kind of like this rubber cap to this if you're not wanting to get a folio, or if you like to take it off a lot or something. So if you guys are interested in any of those products, definitely let me know in the chat here, and hopefully I'll get them out sooner than later, but CES is going to definitely take a lot of my attention, so we're just going to have to see how that goes. I'm going to worry about this cover later, actually. Let's see if we have any other comments here. Blessings to you as well. Thank you for joining. And we will travel safe. Graf-X Motion. He's also my dad, so he has to say that. And he's driving us there. So hopefully you drive safe when you're driving us to the airport. So, because if we don't even make it to the airport, well, that's kind of sad. Anyway, so another product that I'm working on is some product shirts here. Let me go back to the other angle so you can see me better, you know. Some shirts with my logo on it. So this is kind of an example of what it would look like on a flannel material. But I also made t-shirts, which I've shown in a bunch of different videos already. So if you're curious, that's kind of what they're going to look like. I'm thinking of offering a couple different styles, one with this logo on it and one with the longer logo on it, and even potentially a style with both the longer logo and the smaller one on the sleeve, which is the way I made them for myself and for my team. So yeah, if those are interesting at all to you guys, let me know in the chat. And any other questions about this live stream, let me know. Otherwise, we are probably going to end it right about here. I don't have anything else I need to cover. But again, any questions about any of the tech that I have here, ask it and I'll answer it. All right. Let's see. Do I make onesies for babies? Not currently, but if that's a demand we have, we can certainly look into it. For my own baby, which is what my wife is probably referring to, yes, we can make a onesie for him. That would be very easy. It's just vinyl that we heat press onto clothing, so it would be very simple to do if we get a plain onesie or something. Which is also why sizes should be no issue for me as far as what I'm making. Sweatshirts as well would totally be an option. I just would want to make sure I find a certain kind of sweatshirt that I can consistently purchase locally to make them, because I probably won't keep a lot of stock here. I'm just gonna make them as I get them ordered. So that's kind of where we're at there. But yeah, flannel, sweatshirts, all that kind of stuff, I'm not opposed to doing. We're just going to have to make sure we have a consistent supply of them before I would add them to the store. But yeah, I can get the merch up there pretty much as soon as possible. And yes, happy wife, happy life. Absolutely. Yes, I will make her one. Don't worry. We're good. Potentially sweatsuits and pants as well. That's definitely an option. Again, I don't really see any item of clothing off limits, as the heat pressing works on pretty much everything. But I just want to be sure that I can consistently replicate them and not just do like a one-off thing. But if someone in the chat or whatever really wants a certain kind of clothing that's not offered, message me and we can work out a price. I mean, I'm sure we can do that. So yeah, it'll be good. Anything else from anyone in the chat? Otherwise, we're probably going to end the live stream here, which is totally fine that we're doing only more like an hour for this first one. I wasn't sure how many topics I should have prepped because I wasn't sure how much engagement I would get and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this is a great first try, but yeah. Graphics Motion says we can put a request form on the website for other clothing needs. That's a great idea. We will definitely do that for you guys. So we kind of share a website. It's based on the XIndustries website, and I'll put my store on there as well. So we can look into that and add all that. And yes, you're very welcome for all the info that I can give. And hopefully this was helpful to you guys. I want to do this a bit more consistently, hopefully weekly. But obviously next week is going to be very interesting how it all plays out. So anything else, or are we going to end it there? Hope I can meet up with some of the other e-ink guys there at CES. That will be awesome. Yes, I want to, anyone who, like, if I know who you are, if you know who I am, I want to meet up with you. You can exchange contact info. Absolutely. I really want to know more of you guys a bit more personally and stuff like that. So it seems like us e-ink YouTubers have to stick together a little bit. I don't want to be strictly e-ink though, if that's not clear. I'm not focusing my channel just on e-ink, but absolutely I love e-ink tablets. Not a fan of books though. That I'm going to go on a quick books rant here. If you're going to get a books device, the only benefit to that is that it's less eye strain on your device, on your eyes, on your device. Your eyes are your device now. It's less eye strain, but I would get an iPad over a books device any day of the week. The iPads can do even more. An Android tablet, I'll get a Samsung tablet over a books device for sure. Just because they're basically just regular Android tablets with an e-ink screen. And no, that's not it for me. Supernote's really optimized for what they do and their writing feel is amazing. But yeah, not books. I'm not a books fan. I know people like praise books and the books go 10.3 and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get one unless they send one to me. If they send me one, I'll review it. But I'm not going to be spending my own money on a books device when I have an iPad and a Supernote. That's all I need. All right, yeah. Hope to see if any of you are other YouTubers that are going to be at CES, I hope to see you there. JC, you better be there. You're not like much of a YouTuber yet, but hey, you're going to be there, and he's going to be filming. So if the camera shots are bad for CES, just blame him. I mean, like, I'm off the hook. I'm going to be the center of attention. I'm the star. All right. If it's bad, it's on him, not me. No, I'll take some of the blame too. It's fine. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. We'll talk soon.